waiting to readjust. Now on BBC One, changed lives for the castaways.
The castaways who landed on Taransay at the start of the new millennium have been through many highs and many lows. But in just 2 weeks, they will have to leave their isolated community. How have they been changed by the castaway experience?
That's a curious question.
A year ago, before they left for Taransay in the Outer Hebrides, the castaways were asked what they hoped to find and what they aimed to achieve in their year on the island.
Out in the wilderness, just me and the earth, and I want to go out there and dream and see if I can survive.
I like meeting people, I like new places, new food, new experiences, and doing as many stupid things as I can fit into my life.
We're thinking primarily about their education.
For me, to prove to myself that I can, you know, change my lifestyle so dramatically.
It's like getting up every day and you do your day's work, and then you go home and you look back and think, well, what difference did that make?
My father was a farmer, and I've never really quite escaped from the shadow of the nobility of manual labour, you know.
I was told there was a drive-through McDonald's, and that so it should be okay for the self-sufficient side.
See, if the island had been like Barbados or something, I wouldn't have applied for it, because that to me is just, yeah, it's not real life really, is it?
All of our ideas about ourselves will change. I think we'll be very different people by the end.
Now as the project does come to an end, the castaways are beginning to reflect on how they've changed, what they have achieved, and what they'll take back to the real world.
I'm going to be quite bored when I go home. I'm always going to be drifting back to this year. I'm going to be a mess, really.
It's going to be the saddest thing leaving here, because it is the most glorious place.
This time on my own has been my awakening and a chance to discover a lot of things about myself.
This island has changed people, and whether they'll admit it or not, I don't know, but in their heart they know it has.
Expectations for the project varied enormously. Some expected hardship, while others had different ideas. At the beginning of the year, Roger and Rosemary Stevenson refused to join their fellow castaways until their accommodation was as they'd expected.
We don't want to be there until it is leak-proof, warm, and they're patently not.
Before long, the accommodation pods were finished, and the community's choice of supplies helped create a home away from home. But this proved too much for those castaways who'd expected a harder time. To find a lifestyle more like the one they'd hoped for, Mike, Toby and Trevor packed their bags for a 3-day survival trip.
I think we are going for a bit of hardship. You know, a word that some people here absolutely despise. But it's a giggle. We can trot home. We know that we can do it. But that in some senses makes it harder on you mentally, because you know that 2 hours walk from wherever you are on this island, you've got a dry bed, a hot shower and a warm meal.
Oh, don't start already, Mike, I'm hungry.
You come here to do your own thing and find your own dream when you come to Taransay on this project. And if you miss it, you've wasted the year, in a sense. I mean, you'll get lots of other things, but if you don't get what you came for, you'll have lost a lot.
See you tomorrow morning, all right? Bye!
The intrepid threesome took a video camera but no food or shelter with them. This alternative castaway experiment would rely on whatever could be found on the shore.
What do you think will be on the menu tonight, lads?
A bit of seaweed. Now, hopefully, this looks like some good places to fish.
Yeah, I don't think I've stooped to eating seaweed quite yet.
Nah, I'd rather do 2-3 days without.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Seaweed. You sure this is safe to eat? Let's just get it over and done with.
Good lad.
Ooh, get it down.
How's the noodle weed?
Singapore or what?
You didn't get all the bits of limpet, did you?
I got a bit.
My turn. What do you think of it? That is salty, isn't it?
Actually, it's not bad, is it?
Bollocks. Would you ever consider eating that in normal life?
Depends how drunk I was, but yeah.
Really?
Honestly, yeah, that isn't bad, Mike. Honestly, I honestly think that's decent.
I think that is horrific.
What about fishing tomorrow? What's on the agenda, Toe?
I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
Don't see why not.
Cool.
If we don't get any joy off it, then sheep the next day.
I'll get us a sheep.
Yeah, I don't mind helping you. Because we'll have to have like a lamb or something.
Before he left for the island, Toby had imagined life on Tarrantay would involve killing for food.
I've always thought that getting the meat from the supermarket is too easy, and fancied maybe trying at least to kill my own animals to eat. And I'd be more than willing to have a go. I don't know how good at it I'd be. I've never done it before, but I'll give it a crack. Killing a sheep, though, it's a big animal. It's a big animal. How do you kill a sheep? Oof. I could kill a fish, maybe. We'll start with fish.
But on Tarrantay, even fish present a challenge, and the boys couldn't have looked for the second meal of their survival trip in a more perilous part of the island.
Extreme fishing!
Hey, that's extreme! Watch your back again, mate! Come on, game over! Game over! Go on, take your time!
Probably the most stupid type of fishing you could ever imagine going. Extreme one!
Extreme! Woo!
After a couple of days, we'd been eating bits of seaweed and limpets and stuff off the beach. We thought, well, we'd really need something decent to eat. There was this doddery old sheep that really was on its last legs. It wasn't looking too healthy.
The fellas said, we fancy killing a sheep, this one's ill. We're probably doing it a favour, because all the sheep have liver fluke, we're probably putting it out of its misery. So I went, yeah, fair enough, go on then. And it was surprisingly efficient.
I straddled it, sitting on its back, grabbed it under its neck, pulled its head back, dislocated its neck, drew a big knife and just slit right across its throat and just let it bleed on the rocks.
And now we're having jokes with its body parts.
This project was the biggest thing to ever loom in my life, and I had such strong ideas, as most of us did, about the way it should be.
Fresh lamb. You can't get any fresher.
It was the sort of thing we wanted to come here and experience. But you got to accept that it can't be the way you think it should be all the time, and make the most of that. Yeah. That's life, really.
Yay!
Stay away.
Some of the other castaways presented less of a threat to livestock. At the dawn feeds, Ben got on first-name terms with the sheep, naming them after his former colleagues at Tatler magazine.
The one there is Lucy. Then we've got Emma, the one that's just come in with the really big blue mark on its back.
Yeah.
Then next door, Hermione, Laura, Harriet. I did it by their
How are you going to
markings.
feel though when Colin cooks up Henrietta?
I'm going to sneak her away before he gets her.
But one of the girls had to go sooner or later.